Hey everybody, hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's been pretty crazy. We tried to do this for NA and now it's EU's turn. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, a couple days ago we ended up talking about the roster lock and what would happen if it happened today. We're about halfway through the off season if things end in August and are starting back up in assumed like first or second week of January, and was curious if all the rumors and stuff were true and things locked in as they were, which is also very tough to do. We found out for NA. It's only fair we do it for Europe. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to take a look at the assumed rosters, all the rumors, all the things that have been going on. Luckily, we've got some more confirmations in Europe because they're not all waiting on Justin like NA. But we are going to find and try to assume what our top 16 is moving into the next season. So with that, let's jump into the other bracket. I'm going to need a lot of help from my chat on this one just because it is tough with all the talent that's going on. We still don't know what the heck some of these other are doing, but we're going to make it so we do. With that in mind, chat, help me as always. If you guys want to throw out some names, we can go with the easy ones. We got Carmine Corp, if I could type their name right. We've got Team Liquid, who may not have a roster. You've got Vitality, obviously the former world champs. You've got Moist. You've got what is rumored to be Gentlemates. You've got, who knows what this team is called? Who knows what that team is called? That team is, don't know. We've got the Magnifico roster. We've got Top Cougars, I think is what they're calling themselves. We had Hogan Mode. We don't know if they're sticking. You've got Oxygen. You've got Team BDS. We'll figure out more from there. So with these filling out, let's actually just move these guys up. Let's see. We've got duplicates there, so we can get rid of those. Let's fill these out. So based on what things are right now, they're rebuilding around Vatira with Rise and potentially a Tau. Obviously, they just played with Noli in Flip and Spin and won the whole thing, but that is what it is. As of right now, this is a Chronic. They might be leaving the space. I think a Chronic may have to find an entirely different team. You've got the former world champs. The only thing changing is their coach. So you got Alpha 54, Yezen, and you got Radosin. With Moist, the rumors are rebuilding around Joyo, Extra, and a third. I'll have to talk about what that might be. You then have the former BDS with Seiko and Itachi with potentially Juicy, which has been the conversation. That's how some of these spots open up. Outside of that, I don't know what this team name is, but there has been Raziers, Nas, and Ivan. There's also rumors of him going over to North America and playing with M80. So who the heck knows what happens there. You then have Breezy's new roster with Breezy, Triton, and Crispy Don. Crispy used to be on Endpoint, I think it was. This is rumored to be Gentlemates. You then have Mork by 8's new team. This is confirmed with Rizex and Catalysm. They actually looked pretty decent in their competition. For Team BDS, the rumors have been around rebuilding around Monkey Moon or Rise. Obviously, they went Monkey Moon. And then Drawley and Exotic. Learning pains so far in Flip and Spin. Too early to tell. You then have Oxygen rebuilding around Archie. Ixo is staying, and they're bringing in Oski over from that Team Liquid roster. As for Hogan Mode, you've got Growly, Rezi, and a third. We don't know who. Top Cougars, Relating Wave, Toxic, Acro. Looked a lot better and one that I definitely think should stick. And then Magnifico, who took BDS to 7 in Flip and Spin, which is Atomic's new team. Atomic, Stizzy, and Tox. So those are the ones we have as of right now. Let us bring in the free agents. So K-Dop has been confirmed of like, hey, I'm sticking with the Solary team, but they memed it. Solary actually just showed like their League of Legends players, so we don't know what's happening there. So a lot of these, you are no longer a free agent. We're still trying to figure out where Oli is going. He's been playing. He played with Moist recently and actually looks pretty dang solid. You could see this be maybe Oli or a Chronic, depending on what contract stuff happens. You're rumored to be going to Complexity, Team Liquid. First conversation. Are they staying or are they going? My assumption, done. You've got a Tao is out. You've also got Oski out. So do you stick and rebuild around a Chronic, and can he find talent to do it? Very unlikely. It's better for him to go and join a 2/3 rather than rebuilding around a solo, which I would assume this is what it looks like if I had to guess. So we're going to take all of these and move them up. I think Team Liquid is done for Rocket League next season. I don't think they're coming back for a year at the earliest. Maybe they come back for the 25 season, but probably Kaputski no more. Okay. If that's the case, then what do the rest of these look like? How do these fill out? I think that's okay. This is going to be dependent on what we end up seeing with their rosters. We don't know if he's going to end up going to M80 or not. We're still kind of a question mark around that. To my knowledge, confirmed. Also confirmed. That is true. Looking for an org. I don't know if they're sticking or not. Hogan Mode, I don't know their third. So based upon these, I think it gets really complicated to try and fill out a roster. I think Astral is one that you have to pay attention to, and maybe we can build a team for him. Williams Resolve, we'll build around Noah. Mike Boy, though, usually play together, but I don't think that's happening anymore. I don't know who. Maybe Gom, and he's not even on here. Maybe that. I don't know who you fill out for Europe. Chazetta's coach. That's right. Also, let me look at, has there been any EU 3v3s that have been going on outside of Flip and Spin? Let me pull up Flip and Spin and go through some of the qualifiers and see if we can find some teams. They were called 100%. You've got Adults is the name of their team, even though they're all children. Ah, that's the name of that team. Which is the Mediterranean Boys. These guys are called Team 3. Let's go through qualifier 2 and see if we can find any. Of course. So always persists. Mike Boy, though, and Ivan. You then have some other teams as well in this conversation. Devil Fruit, which is Steak, Tecos, and Compact. Bastra is Astral, K-Dop, and Karsa. They played together. Tempo, Kai, and Laza. Okay. I'm just trying to fill in some teams and see what we got, chat. So there is some iterations. How many of these are going to stick? How many of these are going to go around? I don't know. At least it gives you an idea of what some of these rosters might do. You do NA yet? Yeah, T. We did. We called you out on being lurking in chat and asked who your third was. And, of course, no answer. So, where's Jolly playing? Right here. BDS. Hey, I appreciate you lurking. With that in mind, let's talk about our strengths. I think Carmine Corp, chance to take number 1. Team Vitality, they'll probably alternate. Between those two, that's the assumption. Okay. With that in mind, we then kind of look down the list and see where things... Ironically enough, I think it's very similar to NA, where we have 2 that I'm like, yep. And then from there, it opens up. BDS is somewhere in the top 5 with that roster. It'll take a little bit for them to figure things out, but I think that 5th spot's going to be up for grabs. I'm going to put Team BDS 4. I think it'll take a little bit to get going, but once they do, they'll be good. Moist has a lot of potential. The Gentlemates has a lot of potential. I do like that Magnifico team as well. Oxygen has some potential. We'll go Moist. Then we'll go Oxygen. Gentlemates, I think you can potentially move up or down. I like Magnifico. I like Top Cougars. Mediterranean Boys played well recently. That's a recency bias one. This team actually has a lot of potential, but I think they failed pretty heavily in their quals, I'm pretty sure. How did they do? They lost 3-2 to the Tempo Laza team. So if we're done with all those, I think Resolve will somewhere be in here. Monkeys, always finds a way to play upset. We'll do Resolve as 12. Why not? Team 3, 100%. Hello. And who am I missing? Adults. Again, I think those tail end ones, who the heck knows, right? I think these mix them around, but the ones that matter most are like these. I do like that top Cougars roster. I think they showed a lot of potential. Magnifico, I think, did a pretty good stand-in too. I think them battling for top 8 is pretty common. And one upset gets them top 4. So I think that's not too bad. Obviously, it's tough to kind of fill in these rosters, and there's a lot of unknowns. But again, I look at like who are they sending to their, you know, to their major, you know, these kind of golden spots. And I think it's up for grabs. I think the same can be said about NA, as which we showed in a previous video, but I think it is wide open, and we still have, like I said, like 2 months of this to go. I don't know exactly when things are going to lock. I don't know when teams have to say, hey, this is what our roster is, or confirmed for it. I think that's still a ways out, but overall, I do feel we are starting to get a little bit more information towards the top side. I think either way, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of contract conversations, teams being signed, what their organization is going to be. A lot of that factors in, because while, yes, I'm a player, I may have an opportunity to go to Team A that has a contract and pay, or I can go to Team B with the team that I want, but there's no guarantee of us getting signed, which means no pay, and solely reliant on tournament winnings. Those are a little bit different conversations. Those are some real conversations that happen. Do I get the bag? Security? Maybe not as good of results? Or do I give myself that chance to make a run with the boys that I know I can be, you know, that scrims have gone? You just don't know. You don't know. So yeah, I think it's pretty complicated, but there is a whole lot of things up in the air for the RLCS. And like I said, we still got a long time to go, but hopefully this gives you something to sink your teeth into. If you guys do enjoy the content, as always, like, subscribe, notifications. Shout outs to chat for joining me, twitch.tv/Lawler. Thank you guys for providing some insight. Yeah, you're completely right. I totally forgot about Rye and some of the others. So wild stuff across the board. Either way, if you enjoy the content, you guys know what to do. We'll see you in the next one.